And of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, there is a character named Lenny, and Lenny is a friend of George, and Lenny kills Curly's wife, and then he ends up getting shot in the head. And the impact of that incident on Curly's wife cost Lenny his life. Based on the severity of something you do, it could result in something really bad happening to you, which eventually happened for Lenny. This led to him getting shot in the head by George, and an evidence for this is George raised the gun and steadied it, and he brought the muzzle of it close to the back of Lenny's head. He pulled the trigger, Steinbeck 106, and Lenny's choices also revealed that he was unknowing about his actions, that something was wrong with him. And evidence to show this is said by George, sure, he's just like a kid. He ain't doing no harm out there. Steinbeck 43. So, pretty much Lenny is a kid that knows how to work but doesn't know his actions or can't control what he does. This is how Of Mice and Men shows choices. The impact of a single moment on a life can be drastic depending on the situation. Using the example of Persepolis, Marjan impacted her whole future in the single moments when she challenged her teachers at school. This led to her expulsion and her moving away from Iran to Europe and away from her parents. Marjan impacted her life challenging these teachers by unnecessary things, which led to her expulsion. Marjan challenged the new regime, and she would do things that were forbidden, like she would go try and buy some CDs from Michael Jackson and other singers, and she would buy posters and lie to her elders. The choices that Marjan made revealed she was not supportive of the new regime. And like before, the choices that she made was buy new things, buy American things. And she believed that more freedom should be available for people in the Shah government, and that people shouldn't have to be afraid of the government. Also, her choices showed us about her character that she does not want to give up, and that Marjan made the reader think that Marjan didn't want to necessarily accept change, and that she didn't like the new policy of the government. Choices people make in life can show the good and bad side of people, while also possibly being able to impact a single moment in our lives or in others' lives. In 102 Minutes, we learned that many people's lives changed drastically. This is due to 9/11, and people's lives like Diane DeFontis, Ed Bea, and others changed because they would either not be working at the World Trade Center anymore, or they sadly passed away. And the impact of 9/11 had these impacts on it, and also the moment of 9/11 also changed the way people would view New York, because now the staple, the World Trade Center towers, were not there. And also New York would be more courageous and more powerful as a city due to these events that occurred on September 11th, 2001. Single moments can reveal the person you are, as we all realized on 9/11. And and people like Joseph Pfeiffer, who spent their time and day trying to save people, were there at 9/11 to try and help people. And Frank DeMartini and Pablo Ortiz both, they risked their safety to help people. So these choices made by them reveal that they have a really good character and they think of others before themselves. But there also were the other people who tried to save themselves, which isn't a bad thing. But they didn't take the extra step as Frank DeMartini or Pablo Ortiz did. This is how his choices is revealed in 102 Minutes. In Macbeth, the impact of Macbeth meeting the witches was huge. It resulted in his kingship and his ultimate demise. This was the huge thing that impacted Macbeth's life, and it was the single moment that impacted him. What happened that day was he received Thane of Cawdor because he was a good general in a military battle, and he was walking with his friend Banquo, and then they saw witches, and they revealed the prophecy for Banquo and for Macbeth. And the third witch that was there said, "All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter." And this impacts Macbeth's life because it brings a thought in his mind that he will be king of Scotland and that he will move up the ranks and be the ruler of all. And the choices that reveal Macbeth's character are him killing multiple people, like King Duncan Banquo trying to kill Fleance, killing Macduff and his whole family and their servants. And these choices reveal that Macbeth is a horrible character. Other choices that reveal Macbeth is a horrible character is that he doesn't show any for his wife's death, and Macbeth says on page 44, "No, Banquo was your enemy," which this pretty much means that he was telling the murderers that were assigned to kill Banquo and Fleance to tell them that Banquo was their enemy, even though he never did anything wrong to them. And all these choices reveal that Macbeth is a horrible person and he is just a dictator. The impact of a single moment on a life can be huge, just like we saw in Macbeth. The impact of a single moment on a life can be huge or small depending on the event. 9/11 impacted many people's lives. Loved ones passed away, co-workers passed away, and friends passed away. And extremely loud and incredibly close, the main protagonist begins a quest to find the sixth borough, which was searching for with his father before the 9/11 attacks. His father passed away in 9/11, and the protagonist is devastated from the loss. The impact of his father's passing is that he and his mom begin to have a bad relationship afterwards. The protagonist wanders the streets of New York City throughout most of the movie alone. The reasoning behind him wandering the streets of New York City is that he finds a vase and he breaks it on accident, and inside the vase is a letter that has his father's writing and the words of Brown. Oscar thinks that this is a clue to the sixth borough, and if he finds the person with the last name of Brown, like in the letter, then they will reveal the clues to him. This shows the choices that Oscar makes, and this reveals that Oscar has sheer determination, passion with his father, and love for his father. Oscar shows his determination by searching for people with the last name of Brown from morning to dawn. Oscar also shows his determination because he goes out by himself for most of the movie looking for the meaning behind the letter. Oscar searching for the sixth borough reveals his passion for his father because it was a hobby that the both of them shared. They shared a hobby for searching for the sixth borough and researching about it. This also showed the love for his father, and also Oscar's love is shown because while Oscar did this, he felt as if his father wanted him to know something. This is how Oscar's choices reveal his character. Echoes and a sound of thunder gets shot at the end of the story, and the reason behind this is because of him stepping on a butterfly in prehistoric times while traveling to the prehistoric times to kill a dinosaur, the T-Rex. And an action made in this short story by Eccles is he scrabbled at the golden butterfly with shaking hands. And this shows Eccles is really nervous because of the butterfly that he just stepped on. And this impacts his life because he got shot later in the story because of this little event that happened. And he got shot because of the butterfly effect that we all know of. And The choices that Eccles made in the short story revealed that he was not a confident man, and he was a cocky man. Eccles on page 6 says, "Get me out of here." And this shows that he wasn't confident because he was wanting to run away from the dinosaur, even though he was told multiple times to stay on the path. And he ran away without listening to instructions. So this caused the butterfly to die. And this is how choices is shown in The Sound of Thunder. Based on my readings in quarter 3, quarter 4, quarter 2, and quarter 1 English 10, the overall answer to the central question, choices, is the impact of a single moment on life depends on what the event is. It can either lead to one's death, like in Shakespeare's novel Macbeth, or it can jumpstart an adventure, like in Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. The answer to our choices reveal our characters. Even a small choice you make in your life can impact how others think about you. In The Sound of Thunder, how the main character chose to run away, this impacted how the others thought about him. It can be a positive thought or a negative thought, depending on the choice one made.